Our last lesson in this section on creating object-oriented programming, or creating classes, is to look at something called the this keyword. And so to demonstrate how that works, I've started the class definition over again because one very common place to put or use this is in the creation of your constructors. The keyword this, let me write it out so you can see what I'm saying in case you're having trouble. This allows us to refer to the current object, this particular object, this particular instance of an object. And let me demonstrate where we use that a lot. Before, when we created our constructor, we used simple parameter names. Like this, which is fine, but it's not really considered that great of a programming style. What we would prefer to do to make our programs much more readable is to actually have our parameter as the same thing as our data member name. The problem is now we have a problem recognizing the difference, because here we have hour equal hour, minute equal minute, second equal second, which is somewhat confusing. Instead, what we can do is we can use the keyword this in front of each data member name to distinguish it from the parameter itself. Let's do another one. I won't do them all, but we'll do one more. So now we know what we're doing exactly, and it makes complete sense. I'll go ahead and do second, but I don't have to in this particular case. So let's write a couple of class objects here. I don't need to compile, well, I'll compile them at least just to make sure that, oops, looks like we left off something, semicolon, there we go. Let's try it again. Okay. When we get to the next part on inheritance, we'll find another use for this, but now all we're doing is using this to distinguish really a data member from a parameter. But just keep in mind that what this does, this refers to the current object or the instance, the current instance, the instance that we're talking about. And so when we say this dot hour, we're talking about the hour that belongs to this particular object as it's being instantiated right here in this line. Or for this second constructor in this line. This refers to the instance of the object that's being instantiated at that very second. And that's what this does. And really, in a more practical sense, this just allows us to disambiguate the difference between a data member name and a parameter name. But like I said, when we get to the next part on inheritance, we'll see yet another use of this. So with that, we're going to wrap up this lesson on this, that's kind of confusing, and move on to the next part of the course where we're going to talk about inheritance.